Hello, it's the Germanic, and I have another HD commentary on Modern Warfare 2 with the Scar FMJ. The perks are Scavenger Pro, Sleight of Hand Pro, and Steady Aim Pro. And as you can see, we are on Overgrown. A map that I don't mind, but I actually preferred it on Call of Duty 4. But that might be because of sort of a sense of nostalgia. I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, Call of Duty Call of Duty 4 is so much better." I think people forget all the problems that it had, martyrdom and those sort of things. This video is actually more of a quality test above all else, but I will also be talking about other things which will come later on in this video. So this is my second time that I've done HD commentary. My first time with the Turtle Beach X11s. Tell me what you think of them. There might be a little bit of hissing sound. I'm not sure if that's my computer. I need to see if I can fix that out. But if you've seen my first commentary, which is on Favela, then you might see that although the quality is good, it could be a bit better. Done a bit of editing just to make it look nicer. I've sharpened it in Sony Vegas. I've also done a little bit of color correction. Before it looked a little laggy, and other stuff didn't just look right. So if you have seen that video, and what do you think? How do you think this compares to it? In fact, how does this compare with other qualities of videos that you've seen around on other people's channels? Is it better, worse than other people's? I hope it's better than something like Machinima, which, although the director on it always used HD, PVRs, and Blackmagic Intensity Pros that record in HD, they are re-rendered by Machinima themselves, I think. So the end product doesn't actually look that good, although the raw product usually looks really, really nice. I'm recording at a slightly lower bit rate because I don't have a very big hard drive. You can record at about 13 megabits per second, whatever and I'm doing it only at 6. But I hope it doesn't deteriorate. It doesn't mean the quality is that bad or that much worse than it could have been. So just put a comment down below to see, and I want to see what you think of this and whether I should stick with it or maybe just play around with more settings. Anyway, down to the meat of the commentary today. Today I'm going to talk about something which I haven't really seen being talked about that much on other people's videos. I haven't heard it being like brought up and like talk, and it is whether people are born good or bad at video games like Call of Duty, or in fact games in general really. It doesn't have to be just first person shooters. Some people seem naturally gifted at a game. Literally any game that they play they will do well at, and I'm wondering why this is. Is it because their brains work in that way, or is it down to the fact that they have played they play more than the average person, so they learn more skills, better coordination? Who knows really? It's quite a hard one to know. I want to hear your opinions as well on this. Like a lot of people, COD 4 was my first real shooter that I got on the Xbox 360, and it really got me into this whole thing of my kill to death on COD 4 is much lower than it is on Modern Warfare 2, and that's not really surprising given that I have much more experience now of an FPS than I had before. I know more tactics, where to go, how not to get shot. Loads more things that I didn't know when I first got the game, which was back in 2007, so that was nearly 3 years ago. But then I look at people like Ken Burton, the Machinima director, and I think, how could he still be that bad? You might have seen one of his videos. I think he probably wouldn't mind me saying this, but he's probably one of the worse or not as good people in Call of Duty. There's some really, really good directors on loads of different channels, but I think he admits that he's not the best player ever. I know that I'm not that good, but compared to him, me, he's pretty bad. Every time he plays, it just seems like he's forgotten everything He's forgotten the controls, what to do, tactics, how to shoot even, and he usually does. It usually ends up in a negative KD. Although technically you can't get that, but it doesn't matter. He's done probably about 100 plus videos, and there isn't really much difference between the first video and the 100th, because he gets around the same score. They're usually quite bad games, and his improvement hasn't really rose. He sort of hasn't got that much better, which sort of flies in the face of everything that I thought. I think it possibly this could happen, that he's trying to be bad. So suppose he was actually quite good, then he'd lose his sort of niche as sort of a not as good player. He's meant to represent an average gamer who probably hasn't got the best kill to death ratio. And he just becomes just like the rest of the commentators, including myself. So he will lose his machinima position, maybe. I actually think he's generally quite bad, but he's really fun to watch. He's got good commentary, and it's not just about the gameplay; it's also about the commentary that makes the video good. So maybe you aren't born naturally bad. I'm taking him as an example. And even if you do have all the practice in the world, you're not going to get any better. There are ways you can improve, like knowing tactics, knowing routes to run, but in the end of the day, you're not going to be as good against someone who's naturally gifted. And that's really it for today. Hopefully I'll have some new HD commentaries up on the Germanic and Icronium HD, my new channel, which is in the description, so subscribe to those. Although I'm getting a bit busier now, that's coming in September, but I should be able to put one commentary at least per week on my channel. So bye. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Just subscribe.